Seventh chapter of the book of Daniel in the Old Testament has historically been one of the most powerful witnesses to the claims of Christianity, that Christian theology, Christian ideas about the Messiah and God are actually completely based.
As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. They knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away.
And I remember in the 5th chapter of John's Gospel, a statement was made which really, really got to me. You remember where Jesus said, "Don't think that it's I who accuse you. Another accuses you, Moses. If you knew him, you'd know me because he wrote of me." And I said, wow, I don't know anything about our scriptures. I don't know anything about them. I know the prayer book. I know the holidays. I know how to conduct the Passover Seder. I know all of these things, but I don't know our scriptures. So I made a note of that. And then on Friday night, I finished the Gospel of John. And Saturday morning, I started the Acts of the Apostles. And all was well for the first 9 chapters. I mean, this is, especially when Saul is going to go get those guys. Go get him, Saul, go get him. The 9th chapter was particularly exciting to me. And then we got to the 10th chapter of the book of Acts. And that's when the trouble hit. Because as you remember, this is the story of Peter on a rooftop. And Peter has a vision of a sheet being lowered. And on the sheet are non-kosher animals, unclean animals. And he hears a voice from heaven saying, "Kill and eat." And he's saying, wait a minute, I can't kill and eat. These are not clean animals. They're unkosher. I have not ever eaten anything that wasn't clean, wasn't kosher. And he hears a voice from heaven say, "Don't you call unclean that which I have cleansed." Now, he probably understood that as well as I would have understood that if I had the vision. But 3 times he has the same vision, and 3 times he hasn't the faintest idea, I'm sure, of what was being said. Then he has another vision, and in this vision, somebody's supposed to come to him to get him to go somewhere, and he's supposed to go with his messenger. I'm sure you remember. And sure enough, knock, knock, knock. "Hey, Pete, y'all come." And this is a paraphrase, of course. And so Pete goes with his messenger and winds up at the home of Cornelius, the Roman centurion, a Gentile. And Pete doesn't want to go into Cornelius' house. He doesn't want to have anything to do with this guy. He doesn't want to touch him, because he could be unclean and he would make Peter unclean. And no way did he want to go anywhere near Cornelius. But Cornelius then says to Peter, "Well, I too have had a vision. And in my vision, you are going to come and tell us about God." So Peter says, "Well, I guess you got me, babe." And Peter begins to talk to Cornelius and to the other Gentiles in Cornelius' home about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and about the Messiah of Israel, Jesus. And then something absolutely unexpected occurred. The Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, fell upon these Gentiles. And Peter and the Jewish guys who were with him were astonished. How can this be? How could our Holy Spirit fall upon these Gentiles? How is it possible? How can He's for us, he's not for them. The Messiah is for us, he's not for them. How can this be? And quickly I'm turning the pages. Now I'm in the 11th chapter of the book of Acts. And now I'm in the Jerusalem Council. And they're giving Peter what for? "Peter, what's the matter with you? You're some kind of a nut? How could you go into their home and break bread with them, and have fellowship with them, and share the Messiah with them? And what are you doing, man? Are you a nut?" Paraphrase. And Peter says, "Well, fellas, let me tell you what happened." And Peter tells the Jerusalem Council how the Holy Spirit fell upon these Gentiles. And then they thought about that, and they came to the conclusion that God must not be a respecter of persons. It's okay for Gentiles to believe. And when I read that, I was taken aback. How is it possible that 2,000 years ago, Jesus was only for us Jews and not for the Gentiles? And now 2,000 years later, he's for the Gentiles and he's not for us? How did that happen?
No! That damn Sasquatch.